Hello, welcome back to Math 7 with Mr. Passon. Today we are continuing our unit on inequalities. Last time we solved one-step inequalities. Today we're going to solve two-step inequalities. The one new rule that was really important to us, the only thing that's different between solving an equation and solving an inequality, is when we multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, the inequality flips. We can talk about other things that would cause the inequality to flip, but honestly, I don't want to jump into high school level stuff yet. I think we're good at where we're at. So, today, again, two-step inequalities follow the same rules or the same procedure for isolating the variable. Our goal is always to get the variable by itself. We can think of as undoing operations. Okay? Now, when using addition or subtraction with the inverse operation, so we can undo addition or subtraction by using the inverse. We can undo multiplication or division with its inverse. When you multiply or divide by a negative number, the inequality sign is flipped. So, watch for negative signs. You want to isolate the variable, and you want to check the inequality sign. Okay, so let's think about this. We want to get rid of the 5 and 9. We always want to work backwards. So we want to get rid of the 9 first because that's our last operation. So we're going to subtract 9 from both sides. So I've got 5x plus 9 minus 9. That's my additional operation that I did. And then 17 minus 9. So that gives us our new equation, 5x. So 5 times x, remember, a number next to a letter means multiply, is less than, well, let's do 17 minus 9. That should be 8, right? Now, let's go ahead and figure out how do we get rid of that multiply by 5. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. And we get x is less than 8 divided by 5. And that is 1.6. So x is less than 1.6. Both of those are acceptable answers. One is in fraction form, the other is in decimal form. And depending on the problem, one might be more appropriate than another. Let's look at this one. We need to get rid of the negative 2 and the minus 3. We want to work backwards. So we say, normally if I told you x, you would do this multiplication and this subtraction. So we're going to add 3 to both sides. So let's look at negative 2x minus 3. And then our complementing action that's going to get rid of that minus 3 is that adding 3. And that's going to be greater than 13 plus 3. When we simplify and cancel out those two, we get negative 2 times x is greater than 16. Here we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. Now notice, negative, alert, 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 negative sign. That's going to switch it. So we get x, instead of being greater than, is going to be less than whatever 16 divided by negative 2 is. So x is less than negative 8. Alright? Those are the work that we would do. We would figure out the steps. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and solve these inequalities. Similarly, here we want to get rid of 10 and 3. And wow, my text is super large here. So I'm going to highlight all my text here. And just make sure everything gets just a little bit smaller. Where's my text size? There's my text size. I think a 10 would be better for this stuff. I also think it would be nice if this line matched up a little bit better. Why is it I can't grab that line? And that one there. Alright, so that looks a little bit better. So, well, if I give you the number k, you would do this multiplication and then this addition. So we actually want to get rid of the 10 first. What's the opposite of 10? A negative 10. So we're going to have 10 plus 3k is less than or equal to 22. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. So I'm going to put in that minus 10 here, just because I'm allowed to put in the addition in a place that's convenient and makes sense as long as everything's broken up by addition, and, you know, I can think of that as plus a negative 10. And then additions, the order doesn't matter as long as they're all additions. So now we're reduced to 3k is less than or equal to 11, not 11, 12. 22 minus 10 is 12, not 11. Alright. Now we're going to divide both sides by 3, and we get k is less than or equal to 4. Alright? Now, we want to go ahead and check that one. So let's pick a number, k less than or equal to 4. I normally like to pick the decimal, but let's just say k equals 3, see if that works. So we've got 10 plus 3 times 3, and is that less than or equal to? And it is. It is 19 is less than 22. So that's a true statement. So that value that was less than 4 works. Now, we're going to talk about plotting these in just a minute, but honestly, I think the hardest part is going through and solving. So we're going to go ahead and solve and then plot at the end, especially since it's easier for us to put our circles and drawing tools all at one point in time. So here we want to get rid of the negative 4 and negative 5. Okay? We want that p by itself. The minus 5 is last, so we're actually going to start with our 19 is greater than negative 4p minus 5. That's not a p, there's a p. Minus 5, and then I'm going to add 5 to both sides. That is the opposite thing, the thing that will get rid of that negative 5 that'll cancel it out. But if I add 5 there, I have to add 5 here. Alright, so that means we get 24 is greater than negative 4 times p. Now we divide both sides by negative 4. Ooh, we're dividing by a negative. That should remind us of something. So we've got 24 divided by negative 4. And that is, instead of being greater than, is going to be less than p. So that means that negative 6 is less than p, or p is greater than negative 6. Let's pick a number greater than 6, greater than negative 6. For our check, let's say, I don't know, p equals negative 3. That's bigger than negative 6. And let's check our expression. I'm having a little hard time getting them both on the screen. Is 19 greater than negative 4 times negative 3 minus 5? Question mark. Well, negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12. So 19, is that greater than 12 minus 5? And 19 minus, 12 minus 5 is 7. So 19 is greater than 7. Check. Yes, that is a true statement. Good. We'll do it one more time. So here we want to get rid of the, now stop here. Well, actually I'm going to stop here, pause the video, finish the example, and then come back and check. Alright, so let's go through it. We're trying to get rid of the 1/2 and the 3. The 3 is the last operation, because if we gave you r, you would multiply by 1/2 and then add 3. So I want to try to get rid of that add 3. So I'm going to have 1/2 times r plus 3. That's not an r. Plus 3. And then I'm going to subtract 3. Is less than 6 minus 3. That's not a 3. There we go. So we get 1/2 times r is less than 3. Now, how do we get rid of a multiply by 1/2? Well, we multiply by the reciprocal. So we multiply by 2 over 1. Okay? So that's going to give us r, not t, r. Oh, it's doing that thing with the lowercase. R is less than 6. Okay, so let's pick a number less than 6. Again, I generally think it'd be good to remember that there are numbers that are not the whole numbers. So thinking of like 5.5 or 5.7. In fact, yeah, let's do r is 5.5. Okay, so 5.5 times 1/2 is 2.75. So 1/2 times 5.5 plus 3, and is that less than 6? So we get 2.75 plus 3. And yeah, that's 5.75. Check. Alright, so we want to insert a shape, a circle. I'm going to draw a little circle. Now, one of them is going to be hollow. This one, actually 2 of them are going to be hollow. So we'll put this one here, CV. Man, that is hard to grab. Keeps wanting to change the size of it. And this one here. And then we will copy that. And we'll change this one to be solid. So we're going to change the fill color on this one to red. And we're going to draw all our lines as red lines. So let's go ahead and think about it. What we want here is 3. So this is, no. What we want is 4. So let's make this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's not a 6. 6. Let's draw our arrow. Arrow tool. Make it red. Make it bolder. And maybe move it up just a little bit. Not quite that far, but up there. Alright. Not perfect, but come on, we're going for speed here. So the next one, we want P is greater than -6, so we want it to point in the other direction. So I'm going to grab that arrow and put it there. Grab that one, put it there. Let's call this one -7. This one -6, -5. Here we want R is less than 6. Alright, let's just lower that down a little bit. So here we've got 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, so go ahead and take a moment to finish that one up. Pause the video if you need to. We're going to go ahead and go on to the next page. So for each one of these, you want to solve and then come up with the graph. Alright? Now, I am going to pause here and then just let you fill them out. So go ahead and do that, and then I will put in the answers so you can check. Okay, the answers are coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! So, pause the video here, check your early answers. Oh, let me get this aligned just a little bit better. And move this up just a little bit. So, okay. So, check your first 5 answers, 2 through 6. Then I will move on. So pause the video if you need to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can check answers 7 through 12. Pause the video if you need to, but we're finishing up here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.